Welcome everyone. Today we will be taking a look at Firefight. Firefight is a tactical World War II squad-sized strategy game. It's going to draw unavoidable comparisons with Close Combat series because they're very similar. I don't know if one was inspired by the other or not, so I won't mention such things, but they are nonetheless very similar games. Now, it's from a very small development team. I think it's basically just one man, Sean O'Connor. I also want to say right away that I asked for a press pass. I don't know what the proper terminology here is, but I essentially asked for a review copy, that's probably the right words, of this game. Because as far as I know, there's no footage of Firefight on YouTube. So when I make my decision, I was targeting this game already as possibly being interested in buying it. And my normal way of investigating a game is then to go onto YouTube to watch some gameplay. It just so happens that Firefight doesn't really have any gameplay up, so I asked the developer, Sean O'Connor, if he'd be interested in giving me a review copy so that I could, start this off. This is actually the first review copy I've ever asked for, but considering there appears to be a void in the YouTube space with regards to this game, I thought it was an appropriate thing. Now, I'll probably get more into my opinion of the game as we jump in, start playing. A few things I want to talk about is the difficulty of this game is pretty difficult, I would say. I've been playing mostly this first map because I'm starting to get the hang of this one. I think it's my favorite of the 9, although I haven't played a lot of them extensively. Probably the one I've played the next most is this one. I mean, you can see I've only completed 2 missions so far, but I have about 6 hours invested into this game already, just trying to get it all figured out. And I will say that there is a tutorial version, a demo version I should say, which is just walks you through the tutorial, but it will give you a good feel for the game. However, I also want to say that I was kind of not impressed by this game when I first started playing, and then I was like, okay, but you know what, I want to do my due diligence, because I did ask for a review copy. Let me try to put, this is not going to be an official review, but let me at least put enough content so that people understand a little bit more about this game. And the more I played about this game, the more I liked it. I think the pacing of the game is a bit slow, so you might be kind of convinced that, here, I'm going to start this in the background, the one mission I've done, so I'll start doing some stuff in the background. By the way, one of my complaints right away is that there's no sound volume. I have my sound turned down to almost nothing for the in-game volume, but if it's overwhelming, if anything coming, I can't hear what you're hearing exactly, but if it happens to be really loud right now, that's there's nothing I can do about it. I have it turned down here to negative 17 dBs. That's almost, it's almost down to 10% of the actual volume. So the game comes in really loud. It's that's probably just part and parcel of it being a very small development team. Like I said, mostly just one person. So those kind of things will happen. So that, just in case the game volume is coming through a bit too loud, I apologize, and that's my defense on that is that there's no volume adjustment in game. So while I'm talking about these, while we're playing in the background here, I should mention a few other things. Okay, so this is basically like Close Combat. You have this top-down perspective, and the more advanced orders options in Close Combat give way to a very simple movement pattern here. You just slide them into the position you want, small or the direction of facing. I don't even know if the facing matters too much. They just seem to go where they want to go. You have this move it button, which tells them to get going a little bit faster if they get bogged down. This is now, okay, so that's stuff which is kind of obvious, but now we're going to start breaking into the parts of the game I already don't even know. I'm just guessing as to the mechanics, really. It appears to me that the move it button tells them to move. The heart rate is, okay, that's obvious, but the heart rate, I think what happens is if they're under fire or if they're in a stressful situation, their heart rate goes up, which should probably, I'm guessing, decrease their accuracy and also decrease their mobility. This movement button says, please try to ignore that, just go anyway. But I don't know how much they actually listen to that. Because sometimes you're telling them to move and maybe they're just so pinned down they refuse to move anyway. You can switch between column and line. I prefer line. Everyone's going to prefer line for most things. So that's what we're going to do, move them line over here. I actually want my tanks to move across. Get over here, over here. And I want my half track to go over here if I can and cover. Oh, artillery's coming in. See, these guys are supposed to begin over there. They're not moving, so we're going to tell them to move it. Anyway, this won't be a review of any kind. You can already tell my thoughts are flowing in a very non sequitur manner. But I just want to give you guys a little bit of experience of this game. But I think I didn't finish my earlier thought that when I first started playing, I was really not impressed by the game. And my interest in it has actually grown. Good God, don't move further. Stay there. I've already played this scenario, and I want to show you that in a second, that I know that there's a tank here. Okay, good, so they're doing the right thing. That should give our boys a chance to move up without a problem. Okay, haven't lost anybody here quite yet, but they just refuse to move. Let's get them to do a more advanced order like this. And, you know what, let's just tell them to move out. They're being already targeted by artillery. That's not a good sign. Get these guys to go to column form and move over here. Hopefully they'll... my idea is to move around the hedge, but they are moving through it. Oh no! And, okay, so back to this point about it being not impressive and then impressive again. Okay, it looks like we're slaughtering some guys over here. I already know the layout of all the AI, so that I guess you can say that that's one negative about this game, is that it doesn't have... the scenarios are what they are. Each scenario, each map of the 9 maps has about 8 scenarios, so you have plenty of... I mean, that's 72 different missions, 72 different arrangements of the AI. But there's no custom editor or anything like that. Definitely not. Nor would you expect there to be. I think this is just... Oh, okay. I want to kill these guys. Got one. Got one, at least. So, that unknown is a tank, so we have to be very careful about that. Can move this infantry forward to the wall. You can kind of see here, this is like a concrete wall of some kind. It should give us really good cover, especially with those trees. Okay, that looks good. But we want somebody to go forward to scout the tank. And that's going to be group number 4's job. I still haven't gotten to this train of thought I'm trying to finish. But don't worry, I haven't forgotten it quite yet. Move those guys forward now. Probably want the mortar teams. I haven't shown this yet, but there is a topographical map. Oh, thank God we got out of there. That would have just got smashed by the artillery. So this is actually pretty high. I think the highest ground I've seen is 10. But I would say the average height of anything on the map is probably around 1. So getting it up to even 5 or 6, that's pretty good ground for the mortars to sit on. I like them to sit on high ground. The heart rate going up, I think that decreases their accuracy and stuff like that. So it's good to suppress troops, because then they become less accurate, they become less mobile. We already have this A9 that's obviously focusing to the south. I'm going to start weaving my tank up into the forest line. We're going to pop out and hopefully kill it before it kills us. Once this guy gets in the position, we'll move both tanks at once. So there it is. It is completely focusing the wrong way, but it's starting to move back to our infantry. I mean, our infantry aren't going to last forever, so we do hope that this happens quick. Okay, you know what? Just move. Oh my God, back up. Take your shot. Take your shot. There, we got him. Okay, that was a really key moment there. Had to get rid of that tank. Tanks can only be killed by other tanks or anti-tank guns. So infantry just can do nothing to tanks. Which means now, because we've cleared out the tank, we can move our... I mean, assuming we know, which I do in this case, because I have played this scenario before. Assuming you know where all the anti-tank stuff is in a map, you can move your tanks freely in any other place, or when you're not coming in range of those. Okay, come on, guys. You see them, but why don't you shoot them? Spotlight only does so much. Now I'm finally going to finish my train of thought. Where are you guys going? My first initial impressions weren't that great about the game, but I found that it was the pacing issue. I was expecting a faster paced game, and once you become more comfortable with the controls and knowing that you can't play things very slow, you do have to just kind of charge forward at sometimes. And knowing that because of the whole, like, if they're being suppressed, they won't move. Even if you hit move it, they won't move. Knowing this whole mechanics there, it's very important for understanding how the game is going to play. So, since I've understood that, the game has become much more fun to play. And I think that I even looked through the Steam reviews of this, because I was, like I said, interested in buying it for myself at some point. And I saw some of the negative things that people say, and I feel like, because I've basically forced myself to play this in order to really understand the game and be able to talk about it intelligently, I've come to appreciate it a lot more. I think even if people watched this video and then played the game, they could acquire this understanding through my videos. Okay, so we know there's another tank over here. It's not much to, I mean, it's not like a huge, amazing idea or anything. I just think that when you first start playing the game, you're going to lose a lot of troops. There's going to be like this learning curve, and you won't really understand why. One thing I want to show is that I actually finished this campaign, this map. I already have 2 stars in it. You probably saw in the very beginning. But I still only, I did really well, and I only got 2 stars, and I was even confused about this, but I'm starting to understand more. Like, for a while, I wasn't sure if this was even like a puzzle type game where you're supposed to play it multiple times and then just get the order of things just right. Now I don't think so. I think I could play almost any other mission reasonably well. You just have to understand that the troops, when they're not moving, you can use move it. You definitely can, but it exposes them to extra fire. Sometimes, even if they're suppressed hard enough, I've had this happen several times along this initial hedgerow, which we saw took pretty heavy artillery fire. Even when I'm telling them to move it, damn it, just get the hell out of there, they don't, and then I end up with dead infantry all over the place. So I think that that's even part of the experience, though, that sometimes you're going to end up with a squad commander who can't get his troops out in time, even as much as you try to encourage them. I'll move these guys all the way up to here, in fact. Yeah, I'm thinking that's more a part of the experience of the game than a flaw. It's a feature, not... It's a frustration, but it's still a feature. Yeah. Now, where did our other tank go? Oh, it's up here. So we're starting to receive reinforcements, which is an element of some of these games, or some of the scenarios that you do get reinforcements. Our mortars right now, we probably want them focusing even all the way over there. Let's see if we can get them to another hilltop. This one seems... okay, that would be a good... You know what? Well, our infantry haven't quite crossed into the open yet, so it would be kind of foolish to move our mortars up too much. But let's just start staging them more a little bit towards the front. Get these guys to move up to the edge of this hedgerow here, and that'll stage us for an attack onto that little small compound of buildings. We just need these guys, so you can see that they are moving up slowly. Actually, we'll probably even move our armor back to support, because there's still infantry in this compound that we didn't clear. Tanks, the mechanic I think that is at play here is that tanks obviously are not as good at killing infantry, or because they are just poor at spotting them. That's the main thing, is that they have a hard time spotting them. This guy's going to escape unless we can get that gun around. There it is. He's over. And he's invisible now. Okay. So you have this, it's the typical combined arms scheme where you want your infantry in front of your armor to scout, and then when you know where your armor needs to go, it can move in front of the infantry. It's this cycle back and forth. Getting pretty heavy fire from this area. You know, I might even call down some smoke rounds here to try to... Let's call them out to try to obscure the line of vision. Because that is our biggest foe right now, is that machine gun. Let's hit this guy. I saw some fire from right here, so let's get that other Panzer to move right up. Aha! We're actually starting to see them. Did he get killed, or would he go into hiding in the tree? We have plenty of supporting fires here, supporting forces here, giving supporting fire. So force should be okay to move up. That was the idea, is that they should at least get into this compound. So now we can suppress those forces. Alright, 4. I'm tired of waiting. I'm giving the move it order. Now, compared to close combat, which I haven't played a lot of, despite many people recommending it to me, this has a lot less movement schemes. So really, you only have, oh, please don't get yourself killed. See, they do a little bit of free moving. I have this guy's order to move here, and he's decided to move quite a lot further ahead of that. So there's a lot of independence among the units. That's kind of what you're playing with here, is you're just giving them orders to move general places, and you're allowing... I prefer to think of it as, you know, just the way it would work in real life, that you wouldn't give an individual private an order. You would give the corporal or sergeant an order to move his team or squad, and then rely on them to do that in an effective manner. So... Alright, pushing forward now. Looks like we've cleared this compound, so the tank will move up. Let's get them to kind of move up over here, just to support along this side, since there's a few infantry in the bushes over here, but they've been heavily suppressed already. There is ammunition, by the way. The game is modeled so that you can actually find the individual ammo of anybody, and the individual heart rate. I wish there would be like an average heart rate, an average ammo or something that you could select a unit. I don't think anybody has the time, nor is it particularly fun to have to cycle through every unit. It's interesting if you want to include it for like added detail or depth or whatever, but a more functional design would at least have like an average where you select the unit and it gives you the average right away. This is not a problem with vehicles where, you know, it does give you, these guys don't have anything, all you need to worry about is the tank. And it also is modeled that if the tank blows up, the tank crew gets out, but almost every single time the tank crew's totally dead. So, or they're totally wounded and they just run bleeding back. They retreat off map. So, alright, I think we're going to have a shift here. We have infantry. Okay, the smoke has been fired. We're going to call a ceasefire with that. Okay, I guess they already did the ceasefire. I can't control it, so I guess they have already ceasefired. Now it's time to move our infantry up. So let's get this half track over to here. Support there. We have another tank which has just arrived as reinforcements. It'll be right here. Another complaint sometimes is that unless you zoom in, you can't see the corners of the map. So it'd be nice if I don't know. I really don't know how to get around that. You just have to zoom in to be able to get the very far bottom left, far bottom right, etc. corners of the map. It's just a little bit of a pain. Okay, so we're moving in here. They need infantry to support though. So is it clear? Well, before the smoke clears out, let's have these guys move it really quickly across the field. Open field, not usually the best line of cover. We're going to get these guys to move up as well to this wall. They should still be covered on this side. It looks like the wall's not broken until here. And we're still taking infantry fire from there, which our mortars should be on. And we can encourage them to fire that way.
Open fire!
Looks like this infantry was not covered by that smoke, but this group is. And we should have these guys supporting and lending their fire. This guy's not quite over there yet, but he's making his way slowly. Ah, good. We have more infantry, so let's move these guys up as well. They should really be supporting these guys. Oh, yeah, look at this. So they were supposed to already be cleared out by my tanks, but my tanks have such bad visibility. Okay, good. At least our mortars are suppressing over here. It's good to see. Now we get them to move up, and you can see that, like, for example, if artillery was falling here, I needed to get them out of there ASAP. There's no way I can do that. This is as fast as they're going to move. I can't encourage them any further. There's a limit to their move it. Let's get this other tank to move over here. You to move over here. Keep advancing slowly. Okay, mortars. Got these guys to cease fire, which I'm just going to do that so that they start targeting whoever they want again. I don't know if these guys are going to make it across the field. We just really need to knock out this tank. Now, is it possible for one of our tanks to knock it out? What's your guys' problem? Maybe we should land our last few smoke barrages here. Because it is hell. Did I put smoke? Did I put... I don't know. Oh no, Squad 5 is losing people. Which is the group trying to move across. Well, the thing is, you can't get stuck in the middle there. You really gotta go. You don't want to be stuck in the middle. You don't hunker down in the middle of no cover. You run to cover. There, now they're getting it. So it does take a long time for the artillery to come in. But 4 is getting up here. So let's move them very aggressively. They have the support of a tank, so they shouldn't... They really should be the kings of that area. Now what I'm going to do is try to get 5 to shift a little bit further north. So hopefully they run in a better arc. They've only lost 1 unit so far. And the next thing up is for 6 to move up. So... Okay. Yeah, they're moving up nicely. There's some infantry supposedly around here, but I mean the tank is should be taking care of anything. And I also know that there's an anti-tank emplacement there. So with all this foreknowledge, oh, and this is a cool dynamic as well. You can get these guys to surrender. So if you push hard enough, and I'm imagining if their heart rate is high enough, they don't have the will to fight as long. If you can just like kind of bum rush them, yeah, you put yourself in a good position. Now I still need to take care of this tank, obviously. So we're gonna move up this other tank along this little dirt square. He's gonna push through here. I want him to push at the same time that maybe we can get vision. You know what, we might even get lucky enough to have vision of this guy here. It doesn't seem unreasonable that that could happen. He's on a hilltop. He's at 11. Okay, so this is the highest I've ever seen elevation, 12.2. So this is a really tall hill that this thing is on top of. We have Squad 11, another infantry group. We'll get these guys over to the right to help out with the eastern flank, assuming that north is up. Squad 7 lost another individual. Yeah, this is kind of a tough spot that I put these guys in. They're not in a great position. 5 is very slowly moving up. 4 very slowly moving up. Get these guys... You know, let's get these guys all the way over here to take both sides of the road facing this direction. Kind of cover for the tank. 5, you guys are just slow as hell. Suppressed. We've only lost 1 from 7. They are still advancing, that's good. So the last of the smoke has been deployed. We want this tank to be focusing on something else. That actually looks like it would have a shot. Oh, he does. He has it. Fire, 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 fire. Got him. Oh, we got him. Oh, beautiful. That was nice. So now we can move this Panzer in very aggressively to here. We can move this guy very aggressively into here. Well, let's say into here, because we know that there's another place we're going to be concerned about. These guys are still surrendering over here. We're doing well, but we got to push quickly in order to take the objective quick. And I will show you with the previous victory screen I had, the one time I completed this map, that even though I did what I thought was an amazing job, didn't do things fast enough, I guess. So, okay, you now move here. That is our last tank, by the way. They are firing really far, quite far. I think I'm going to put a little bit of high explosive artillery down over here. So we just hold that down to get them to hone in over there. 5 can now move forward. Just need you guys to help with the infantry over here. So this guy's now here. So this infantry can move forward. We can have them take this little compound. We hold what I'm guessing is a church, since this looks like a cemetery. Yeah, this is by far my favorite map. I like all the diverse environment. It looks going. Where's this going to land, though? Wow, that's interesting. They're firing all the way up there. Alright, mortars, I don't know why you're following... What? Oh, you just missed by a whole lot. Why don't I get you to focus right where I know, presciently, because I've played this before, that we have... There it is, a 7-pounder. So this is what I want, is for infantry to start focusing fire on that, to knock out some of the troops. I do not want to engage that with a tank, because that is anti-tank. Only thing that can hurt tanks in this, tanks and anti-tanks. It's key to remember that. And this is normally how I get into trouble, is that my gun, the gun on my tank, which you have no control over, is often facing the wrong direction, which means not forward. So we got suppressed here, or our guys are not moving. Let's give them the move it order. How are you guys doing? Gonna push you up very quickly. Let's get them into the middle of the compound, the half track into the middle of the compound. Spin him around so he can fire in the opposite direction. I don't know if that's gonna help or not, but... A little bit long. Hey, these guys are... They're in pretty good position. Shots out for their artillery. You can actually see their artillery coming in from the bottom of the map, which is kind of cool. Oh god, Squad 6 is losing some. Oh, I missed it. Is it coming in from the... Okay, where's Squad 6? Ah, Squad 6 is here. And they were given the move it order. So this guy is not doing his job. Go down here and suppress. Yeah, why don't you suppress from the angle they're coming from? Maybe that'll help. We have 13 more rounds of the high explosive. You know what would be a great idea? Let's use our artillery, our high explosive, here. That round. Oh, they just got 3 rounds out before I was able to cancel that, though. Should be seeing those fall. 3 rounds, right? Maybe not. Maybe I canceled it. I don't know if it actually ate my rounds up. And we are actually shooting at that too already, which is good. And look at this, another tank as reinforcements. The good news is, here we go, I have to zoom in, because, you know, you zoom out, you block it, your mini-map. So let's get this guy up. Shot out for artillery. Wow, this guy actually fired. Where's he firing, though? Up. Well, the artillery missed by quite a bit. We actually can probably get a shot on this 2-pounder from here. Of course, I would much prefer my mortars to do their job. Maybe they can't do their job effectively. Let's get these guys to move up as well. Fire in the hole, that means we got some guys launching grenades. Artillery shot is out. Waiting. There it is. Okay, so it is coming from the bottom of the map. Travels pretty fast, though. Oh, we got vision? Ah, we got him. The guy even quoted, got him. Alright, let's advance this tank a little aggressively. I don't think he'll be visible to the 2-pounder from there. Let's get this guy to inch up a little bit more. The 2-pounder will be suppressed, so it'll be hard for him to turn. Shots out for artillery. We have 10 rounds left, though. There it is. Oh god, no. They killed my tank. So yeah, we didn't have vision of it, and it did destroy my tank. And now we'll be able to see that the crew... They usually just bleed to death. I'm pretty sure this means that they're dying. So they just usually go around and die. Not that their pistol is going to do very much anyway. So that was a little bit unfortunate. That means that this gun will have to have had pivoted. Oh god, vehicle explosion just killed some more of my men. Looks like killed some of group 4. Well, you know what? The one way to beat a 4-pounder is just to march your infantry right up to it. So we're going to try that tactic instead. Since the alternative is not working, which is getting my tank to secure it with a shot. Get these guys in like this. Look at that, they're surrendering. Need this tank up here though. Can we get them hidden from the 2-pounder, but still aggressive enough to allow 5th group to move in? Where's 7th group? Or, okay, 9th group. You're moving up aggressively this way. I don't know if their artillery's still firing. Oh, wow. So this has also been destroyed, presumably by this tank. Well, that's less than ideal. And that's the crew. Again, they just burn to death or bleed out. Shot is out for artillery. Let's see if this one gets any closer. Is that it? No, that's mortar. Yeah, we're still missing. Oh, God. Oh, well, that looks very effective. One of those shots looked good. They only have 1 round left. We might as well let them go. They've probably zoomed in close enough. And this is the biggest threat to me. This is a tank I know for sure that can't be killed by artillery because I've tried numerous times. Looks like the last shot for their artillery is out. Maybe we'll get lucky with another hit. Maybe not. Nope. But all that should have suppressed the forces in this area, so we'll keep moving up. 2-pounder still exists according to this this image. We need this group to push up hard along the main road, if you can. That should give us vision of the 2-pounder. Can you... Look at that guy. We got lots of guys spotting him, but nobody's gonna kill him. Okay, he sees him. You gonna get him? No. Looks like he got away. Well, we'll move this guy back down to support. Lots of infantry able to see him now. Good suppression. Where are the guys here? They did lose a few. We want to push them right up to the edge, though. You guys are kind of stuck. Go. Move. That's a lot of fire. Oh, we're hitting them too. Good. 5, you guys go ahead and move it as well. We have a tank right here to support, so don't delay. 7, yeah, we'll spread these guys out quite a bit. We do want to have them hold in this building. I just want to make sure this 2-pounder is knocked out before we lose any other tanks to it. The good news is we did get a reinforcement tank, so we'll send him up pretty much the same direction his buddy was destroyed. So this guy, I'm telling him not to move that. I mean, he might just wander into the path of the... Oh yeah, it is focusing that way, so you know what? Can you go clear it real fast? He has eyes on it. You're good. Take it out. Take it out. Fire. What are you waiting for? Huh. Okay. There it is. Okay, now we destroyed it. Good, so that means that this guy down here doesn't have to go this way. I'm swinging back over this way, because we need to kill this tank as well. Now, I know the last AT that we have to worry about is over here. Really, what these maps devolve into is just find the AT, kill the AT, and then let your, like anything that's left can only attack infantry, so you let your armor do the rest of the work. And it's that game. You just advance infantry to scout armor, any kind of AT. You eliminate the AT by any means necessary, usually your own AT, your own tanks. And then once that's done, you advance the infantry to scout for armor again. That's just combined arms in a nutshell. Okay, these guys here. Where's 4? You guys are going to shift north. We're pushing hard. Time is somewhat of the essence for this mission because, well, I mean, it's just my guess that it is because in the mission that I got only 2 stars out of 3. I'm thinking I only got 2 stars out of 3 because I didn't complete the mission fast enough. I did it almost perfectly the other way. Let's get this guy over here. Just have too much infantry focused in this area. There's nothing they can do. Oh. Wait, do you see him? Do you see this guy?
Open fire!
Do you see him? You're not focusing the right way. Oh, I took the objective. Incidentally. We don't even need to engage this tank technically. We could just go over and take the objective. The AI doesn't really react to those things. But this is what I'm going to show you. One of the things that frustrates me is that sometimes even when you are moving... God, we have so much fire going in. Even when you do a nice maneuver, flanking maneuver, which I'm going to demonstrate here, this tank, it may still get the round on us first. That is a lot of infantry fire. And we know that this is a hilltop here, so we should be okay and deflate on the southern side. That's a lot of fire. Okay, objective taken, probably untaken, taken, untaken, then taken. So we move right over there. Oh, he has a shot, he has a shot. This will work out. Oh, he missed. Oh god. So our flanking maneuver kind of worked. But we had a shot and we missed it. We're going to be aggressive. Oh, his gun is facing the wrong way. This is what I wish I could change. I wish I could get his gun to face the right way. We're going to have all these guys advance on the target. Hopefully one of them will be good enough to get the target down. If all three of them approach at the same time, I'm just hoping that one of them gets a shot. There it is. Does he have a shot? Nope, we got killed. Ah, no, turn! He's right there. God. Son of a... We lost one. This guy might get lucky, though. Medic! Okay, that's... I mean, I'm assuming he'll be visible any second now. How is this guy not visible? Okay, we lost two tanks. Flanking maneuver not going well so far. Okay, well, you're gonna run right into him. Dear God, fire. Well, that's about as close as you can get. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is I wish there was a way to tell your tank which way to orient, or to inform him that there's going to be a tank in front of you. I don't want you to give a crap about anything but the tank in front of you, because that is the only threat. Anyways, now we can kind of run to the objective. I think that it's pretty much game over at this point, so we have them. It's all over but the crying. So we'll just get our tank to move over here, take the objective. Everyone else, just we'll start moving them quick. Move it. Did we get any other reinforcements? Yeah, we got two more tanks in the meantime, so even if we had lost all three of those, we would have had two more tanks to throw into the foddering pit. These guys are surrendering pretty quick. Overwhelming force, so that's why we're just telling people to move really quick. We've done our job. So it's basically going to call this gameplay video to a close. The things I think need to be worked on most, well, I mean, very simple things such as volume control, because this game is overwhelmingly loud. I know that we all have independent volume control with speakers or whatever. Even Windows, if you're using Windows, or any operating system has its own lever, but it's pretty standard operating procedure to have volume control, and I like, it ruined two of my recordings of this game. Because the volume's so loud, and I forgot about that recording. I turned my hard volume, the physical volume slider, down, but it doesn't turn down the recording volume. Anyway, that's minor. It's really minor. It's probably easy to fix. The end of scenario scoring, I'm not sure I understand it entirely, or maybe it needs... I know that it was just recently implemented, but it probably needs to be tweaked a little bit, because as it seems right now, it's way too difficult. We lost 2 vehicles in this one. No, we lost 4. God. We lost 4 vehicles, so I don't think we're going to, you know, get the 3 stars, which is ever elusive for me. What I was trying to say about the first impression not always being so positive, but if you give it time, is it took me a little bit of time to realize how you need to play this game. And for me, it just took being able to play like I'm doing. I'm moving things very quickly, knowing that your infantry is not really going to respond to those orders necessarily. So just figuring out that whole dynamic. You're not really sure what the game's asking of you. So when you kind of figure that out, and you know, okay, yeah, I need to be much more aggressive than I'm used to with my infantry, and much less aggressive with my armor, except for when there's no anti-tank, then I can be very aggressive. It's a weird dynamic. We should be just about ready to complete this. So, yeah, well, once I understood that, the game's been a lot more fun. I think I could get a lot more fun out of the other missions. But part of it is just the game's only $10. So if you want to pick it up and see if you enjoy it, you can for a relatively cheap price. I'm sure it'll probably go on sales, Steam sales or whatever, for even less than that. Which is, I don't know, $5 is like, whatever, you can... Oh my god, so... This is always what happens, of course. They don't even care I lost 4 vehicles. My god, I would be much more worried about... I'm really surprised. Wait. No. This is not 3 stars. This is 0 stars. This is terrible. Okay, so you took the objective in good time, but took heavy losses, although there was only light opposition. Your commanders rate your performance as terrible. I'm a little confused. We had 88 surviving. We only lost 8 people, 15 wounded. We killed 40. We killed 3 vehicles and 1 AT gun. We lost about a commiserate number of tanks. That's terrible? Yeah, I guess this does emphasize my point that this game is either extremely difficult or I'm terrible at it, or I just think the most likely answer is the scoring system has to be reworked. Because with this screen on, let me go ahead and switch over to... This is the last time I played this campaign. I got 2 stars, you can see. So let me switch back and forth. There it is, 0 stars. Terrible. We'll notice that I only had 8 people killed. 40 were killed on the enemy. And I lost 4 vehicles here. Now let's go to the other one. So now this is the other one. We see that I had 10 people killed as opposed to 8. I lost 0 vehicles, killed 36, 14 surrendered, so basically it was probably better in every way. And I didn't lose a single vehicle, and that was still only enough to get 2 stars out of 3. How you get 3 stars out of 3, I honest to God don't know. So, it's a minor thing though. It's just, I can finish the mission and just tell myself I did a good job, right? I don't need the game to tell me I did a good job. So that's it. That's going to conclude this little gameplay video. As we saw, some of the frustrations about this game are when you're moving tanks up and they still, even though you've done what you feel is a good job, there's no way to orient their turret or tell them that there's a tank coming up or anything like that. That's a little frustrating. That might be just part of the game though. And again, in the early part of that mission, we saw that the artillery can fire on your units, and even with the move it button pressed, sometimes your men just don't move. Now, maybe both of those last 2 things I chalk up to possible frustrations that might be part of the intended experience, because in war you give orders and they're not always followed, kind of like in a Command Ops 2 style almost. Let me just mute the music for the rest of it, and I think that basically sums up my opinion on the game. I think it was originally built for tablet, but I would say that Sean O'Connor has done a much better job porting this. At least he, in the tutorials, has messages such as click or scroll the mouse wheel, rather than pinch your fingers and drag and all that, or tap with your finger. So it's nice to see that at least some amount of effort went into making the game a port to the PC, although I still feel like it also wears its tablet origins on its shoulders at points, because the simplified command options compared to close combat, I think I feel like that's a result of it being more, or at least being accessible or made to be used on the tablet. If it was a PC only, we probably would see more options. So Yeah, I guess that's it. So a pretty long gameplay overview video, but that's what it's going to be. If you stuck along this long, well, congrats to you. You're the real hero of this video. And other than that, I don't have much else to say. If you want to check out Firefight, there is a tutorial demo version available for free. You have to find that on Sean O'Connor's website, which is, it's weird. It's like windowsgames.co.uk or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but it's like almost like a Windows. It almost sounds like a Windows website, but it's for his games. Go ahead and Google that, or if I'm feeling particularly generous, I'll put that in the description. And you can try it out for yourself, see if you like it. I do just want to remind you one more time, though, that my impression was really poor of the game in the very first 10-15 minutes or so. I wanted to just quit. But sticking with it, or maybe employing some of the things that you saw in this video, the game becomes pretty significantly more fun. I'm not sure if it's worth your $10. That's a decision only you can make, but that's my opinion on it, is at least it will get better. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching. If you wouldn't mind giving this video a thumbs up, I don't even think it matters, to be honest, because there's no other competing Firefight videos on YouTube. But so yeah, at your own discretion, if you want to. We'll say that. But that's it. Thanks for watching, and take care.